Hello everyone, it's vanburman here. Welcome to, a video today, and I'm just going to be talking about No Man's Sky and also the Steam refund procedure in case anyone hasn't been through it yet. Just some general information and my experience with it. So I purchased No Man's Sky. I do have a small amount of footage on my computer, which I haven't yet uploaded. I did try and upload it, but it's about 7 gigabytes or something silly, so it didn't all get properly uploaded, but that will be up at some point so you can have a see, which will probably give a bit more reference to this particular video. But as some of you will know, the No Man's Sky on release and with the patch has been running like mud, quite frankly. It's not been brilliant, and it's a bit weird as well. I was running it on mostly medium high on my computer, and it was for some reason capped to 30 FPS, but then it was only giving me about 20, 19, 18 FPS, which was a bit strange. So I decided to put the limit on at 60 instead, and then I was getting 40, 50 odd just in general play. But then while I was just doing unimportant stuff like looking at the surroundings nearby, for some reason it was dropping down really low again. So I'm not hugely sure what's gone on with that or why it's not working particularly well. The game is also pretty dull, to be honest. There's not really a huge amount going on. Not really going to give too much information on it. I wanted to stay away from every single review and everything that was gone out so that I could play it and get a full experience of it. But I'll be honest, due to the technical difficulties and everything else, it was, just not really worth playing or buying, to be honest. So I decided to make use of the Steam refund service. Obviously, it's been quite highly touted as being, I suppose, sort of revolutionary in a sense, because, we've now got digital content, a refund process for digital content, which I know other companies do. I know Origin do it as well and did it before, but the fact that Steam are doing it is, it's been seen as a really big step forward. And I decided to put in for a refund. Paid £40, $60 for it, and it was just, like I say, running like absolute mud. Not a particularly good game. Not, in some ways, not as advertised, but I'll probably go into that on a later video. And I just didn't feel like I'd got any sort of value for my money. I mean, I played it for a couple of hours, and I tried, at one point it crashed. I tried to tab out of it, to try and shut it down, and it just kept running in the background but with an error message, so I'm not really hugely sure what's going on there. But anyway, it ended up that because I just left it there on my taskbar, which is an important note for other people, and I will be doing this from now on, in order to comply with Steam's refund service, which I wasn't aware of this. It just, before it just said like a reasonable amount of hours, or not an excessive amount of hours, but they've actually defined it now, which I hadn't seen. Some of you may already know, but in order to qualify for a refund, you have to have had the game purchased for less than 14 days, and you have to have your playtime on Steam, so not your actual time that you have actually been playing it, your playtime on Steam. So while Steam still thinks the application is running, it has to be less than 2 hours in order for the automated system to give you a refund. So they failed me. They said, no, you played it for 3.9 hours, so we can't give you a refund. And I tried to send a tweet out to Steam support, which I didn't get anything back for. So, but someone very kindly, because I put a review on Steam about how I was upset about this, said, why don't you message the Steam support? And I was thinking, I mean, that's what I was going to do originally, because I couldn't see where to get the refund button. Is slightly hidden. You have to do a little bit digging. But then I decided to actually email Steam support, and they got back to me and they said, we're not willing to offer you a refund back to your card, but we're willing to give you the money back in your Steam wallet. So begrudgingly I said, yeah, okay, it's not actually been done yet. They just said, can we get your approval to do that? So I went, yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll do it that way, and I'll get something else at some point. There are a couple of games I want coming up, so I suppose at least one of them is already paid for, in a sense. But I wouldn't recommend getting No Man's Sky at the moment, or maybe even ever. I saw a really good review on Steam, and I do agree with this, that No Man's Sky is a mile long, but an inch deep. So yes, it is absolutely massive. Don't get me wrong. You know what, I've just about got to the point where you're experiencing the solar system, and you can see basically what's out there. There's a lot more solar systems and a lot more planets to explore, but it seems to be that the depth of that, as in the interaction, and which obviously there is no other player interaction, but the interaction with the AI, the interaction with your surroundings, and the overall goal of the mission does seem to be like this, in compared to the enormity of the scale that you've got at hand. Great hand actions there, vanburman. It's an adjustment to consider. I really would wait for this to come onto a sale. It might be something I'll pick up later on at some point if there's a decent sale for it, you know, a 50% off or a 66% off, or maybe even more. It is something I'd like to, you know, spend 10-15 hours, see if there is more to discover out there, but it just seems like a grand scale with just, yeah, not enough really to it. The pricing as well, I don't really agree with. You know, $60 for a PC game like that is obviously in the AAA category of pricing, but for me, it's more of a $40 game. A lot of people have said that, and I agree. I do think $60 is too much, but anyway, don't let me discourage you from going out and giving it a go. Obviously, on Steam, if you do want to just try it out and see if it will work, then the Steam refund thing will apply. Just make sure obviously you don't go over the 2 hours, or else, like me, you might be sort of hamstringed into having the money back on your Steam wallet. But oh well, it did get resolved in the end, so fair play to Steam. I'm not completely upset with that resolution. At least they were willing to give me the refund in some way, and I can obviously go out and get a different game now at some point. But they've got to recognise that some games just come out completely shot. I mean, there are, obviously, I know PC is a lot more difficult. There's lots of varying spec out there, so you've got to take that into consideration. But at the end of the day, I've not got a slow computer. I've not got a computer that should be unable to run it, and should take such huge FPS drops like that. And it wasn't just a one-off. It was happening quite a lot, and then obviously a bit crashing and stuff. But I don't know. I think maybe they need to possibly extend the 2 hours slightly, but although I think that will vary from game to game, because naturally there's some games you can complete in 6 hours. So if they upped it to 6 hours, someone could complete it and then go, yeah, I want a refund. Whereas with No Man's Sky, it's a game I was expecting to put 20, 30, 40 hours in the first month. But yeah, not to be. Anyway, guys, a bit of a ramble there, but if it does help you out knowing a bit more about the Steam refund procedure, then that's good. Also, I should say, just on a little side note, the terms and conditions of DLC are slightly different. So if you consumed it or transferred it or anything like that, you won't be able to get a refund at all. So any sort of DLC, for example, that would level up a character, you can't get that back under any circumstance, I believe. But yeah. And if you want to know what game I'm thinking about getting with the money, I am holding out. I'm going to wait and see how much Oriental Empire is, and then I might get that. I've not done a 4X game before ever, so that will be quite interesting to do for the channel and just for me to play in general. But anyway, let me know what you think about that, and I'll see you all very soon, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye.